Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Annie Z with What If Naruto Was Banished and Was the Emperor Part 5. So guys, we last left off on Naruto destroying the 5 Kages and killing the Shinigami, a fake imitation of Hades from the Age of Gods, which in result cursed Minato's chakra network as punishment for the Shinigami being killed. After that, Kushina, out of anger, declared war on Naruto, which Naruto smirked and said that he will oblige. After that, Naruto arrived at the west and informed the war council that they will be going to war. So let's get started. A few days have passed. Naruto was sitting on his throne with arturia on his lap as he played with her hair. So my king, do you think they will come? She says. Of course those Mongols, those leeches will come to try and get my empire. The strong is always leeched off by the weak, and the leaf is the biggest leech and the weakest of all the villages. In fact, they were so weak, they need to leech off the Uchihas and the Senjus and the Uzumakis for so long. In fact, they leeched off the whirlpool, and when they never needed it, they had it destroyed because they feared it, Naruto said. Yes, but if they think that they can challenge the empire, then they have another thing coming to them, Arturia says. That is true. No Mongol has ever bested us, and no one ever will, Naruto says. We now go to the Leaf's point of view, in the council room. That demon, he's the Emperor of the West, Hisashi shouted. He cursed Minato-kun and beat the rest of the Kages with ease. What do we do, Kushina says. We'll force him back to the village, and we'll have his empire under our control. Then we'll turn him to our weapon, while making his wife breeding stock, Minato says, not caring about his daughter-in-law. To think I will birth someone that will oppose the Leaf. I feel dirty, Minato says. His daughter will also make fine weapons and breeding stock, Danzo says, before Ice Slave took effect and he started to get shot to near death. That damn demon, he put that Ice Slave thingy on Lord Danzo. Now he can't think without getting shocked to death, Kizashi Hirano says. I want his weapons, only the Uchiha deserve it, the emo prick says. So agreed, we threaten war on Naruto if he doesn't comply and give us his empire and become our weapon for us, Minato says. We now time skip a few days. We see Team 7 with Yamato and Kakashi making their way to the empire. When they got there, Invo intercepts them. Leaf Shinobi, how dare you enter our borders, he says. Listen here, you demon slave. You better let us pass or there will be trouble, Kakashi says. Oh really? There will be trouble. Alright, ready, Kurama-sama. They're here, Invo says as red chakra forms and the Nine Tails appears in front of the village. It's Lord Kurama, Emperor Naruto Uzu Pendragon's most trusted right hand, says a civilian. Lord Kurama, Lord Kurama, Lord Kurama, we believe in you, everyone yelled. So, Leaf, you dare come to my home and cause trouble, Kurama says with anger and rage. Go to sleep, beast. We have no time for the likes of you. I and Uchiha elite shall rule over this empire and take down your so-called friend, because Uchihas are kings and your friend is just an imposter, Sasuke says, trying to use the mangekyo to make Kurama fall asleep and go under his control as Kurama laughs. Oh you dumb, stupid, worthless, weak Uchiha. You're lucky Naruto has ordered me to not send you to your family, or else you would have been dead by now. Oh, by the way, Naruto helped me gain immune to genjutsu by giving me a new source of energy, Kurama says. What? How dare he? The Sharingan is meant to be the most powerfulest. How dare he give someone immunity to our dojutsu? Sasuke says. Well, you may be immune to the Sharingan, demon, but not to the Wood Star. Wood Star would restrain, Yamato says, as he tries to bind Kurama. You think your weak wood style can ever restrain me? Never again would that happen. I've trained with Naruto Uzu Pendragon, the strongest man in the world, the strongest that ever existed, one who surpasses the Sage of Six Paths. Now I will show you bugs the power of Kurama the Nine Tails, Kurama yells as he snaps the restraint like they were nothing and then slashes at the Leaf Shinobi, making a bleed, as he tells the guard to bring them to the Emperor. Once they arrive there, the Leaf Shinobi are forced awake as they see themselves in the kneeling position and being restrained by the guards. You Mongols better have a good reason for entering my lands, you bugs, Naruto says. We do, Naruto. We the Leaf have decided to reinstate you as our weapon, the Leaf's weapon, and your belongings will now belong to us, which means the empire is ours. Now, get off that throne, Yamato says. That was a good one. Me, be your weapon, my empire become yours, Naruto says as golden gates open and swords kill Yamato. Yamato, you monster, how could you? Kill him, like that, Kakashi says. Oh, a monster am I now? How about this? Naruto says as he waves his hands and swords launches at Kakashi, specifically going for his Sharingan eye, as Kakashi screams in pain and anger as Naruto destroys his Sharingan eye, as Naruto subtly gives a hint for the gods to not restrain him, wanting to see the power of the copy ninja at his most angriest. How dare you? That was a gift from my friend Obito. He died giving me this, and now you destroy it. I don't care about doing things peacefully now. I will kill you, Kakashi yells as he runs towards Naruto, attempting to kill him, but golden portals open up and chains come out restraining him. As Kakashi struggles to get out of the chains and get to Naruto to deliver his punishment. Come on, is that all the extent of your love for your friend Obito? I expected more from you. You can't even avenge his gift that he gave you in his last dying breath. Come on, Mongo, entertain me. Show me how much you care for your friends. At least try to hit me, Naruto says as Kakashi struggles, but it all ended in failure as he was now exhausted. Weak, pathetic Mongo. You dare come here and demand stuff from me, Naruto says as several swords pierce Kakashi. You killed Sensei, how could you? Poor Rano says. You're a monster, you're worse than Itachi, the Uchiha says. Naruto then shoots swords at the limbs, cutting them off. Now you mongols, the reason I allow you to live is for you to send a message to that bug Minato. Tell him that he wanted war, well he got one, Naruto says as he escorts them to Gaara, who sends them to the Leaf Village. We now go to Naruto's war room. Your Majesty, the armies are ready to invade the Land of Fire, Irin says. Good. Now, first of all, we'll attack the Fire Lord and take out the Leaf's supplies so the village can't function right, Naruto says. Arturia, while I do that, prepare the wave against the Leaf Village itself. You'll be in charge of that, while I'll be taking down the Land of Fire's strongest points, Naruto says. Of course, my love, she says. We now see Naruto and Bimana hovering over the Fire Lord's castle as he opens his gates and starts to fire his swords, killing all of their guards and killing all of the shinobi that was stationed there, as well as the Fire Lord and his family. It's about time someone took out the pests. Naruto says. While Naruto was doing that, his fleet were attacking nobles and farms and weapon factories, poisoning the waters, and just outplaying killing any Leaf shinobis out on mission. We now go to the Leaf's point of view. Sasuke and Sakura had arrived without any limbs being delivered by Gaara. Minato was angry as Minato quickly had Tsunade heal them both, and now they were in front of the council with wheelchairs since the limbs were ripped off by swords and there was some sort of energy that was blocking Tsunade from fully healing their limbs. What happened? Where's Kakashi and Yamato? Minato says. Yamato and Kakashi were killed by the demon. He would have killed us too if it wasn't for the fact that he needed us to send you a message, Lord Hokage. We need to evacuate. He will kill us all. He's a monster. Demon. Please, you have to listen. He told us that you wanted war and you got one. Sakura stuttered out in fear, as well as Sasuke, who was really scared of Naruto at this point. Lord Uchiha, there's the demon, says Kizashi. Perhaps that's why the Uchihas died. They were cowards. In the end, Hisashi says. How dare you talk about my clan like that, you lower class? Sasuke says. Lower class? Me, priest of Hyugas, own everything worth value in this village. You Uchihas were just glorified guard dogs to bow down before us. Now that you can't fight, and we know that the Sharingan isn't weak against the Narutos anymore, you're not needed. Let's tell you the truth about your clan's massacre. We had them killed. They were rebelling against us. They wanted more rights, but they were just guard dogs, here to protect us. That's all you were. We kept you alive for your Sharingan and spoiled you, but since you can't reproduce anymore due to Naruto, you're not useful anymore, and now you can't even fight for us. You truly are useless, so you're no longer needed, Hisashi says as he whipped out Sasuke's Sharingan eyes and handed it over to Minato. Lord Hokage would do better with these eyes, he says. Thank you for your contribution to Lord Hokage's. Thank you for your contribution to the Leaf Village. The Shinobi Council now sees the last Uchiha as worthless, and he is needed to be killed. We can use his death as an excuse to trick Kakashi to fight for us, Hisashi says. Very well. Uchiha, you are now an expendable... Very well now. Uchiha, you are now an expendable asset and will now be killed along with Sakura Horano, who is now a threat to our new plans since she loves you and she will ruin our plan to bring back your brother to fight for us, like the dog he is, Minato says, as the shinobi start to attack them. You hypocrites, you can't use chakra, Minato. You're just like us, useless, as Sasuke says this as he dies, making Hisashi realize that Minato was also useless and he could get power relief. Well, I can't produce chakra, but Krishna-chan provides me with enough chakra from his scrolls. So, if you want to challenge me, Hisashi, and by extension the Uzumakis, then go and speak, but you will die too, and Minato says as Hisashi sat down. Good, Minato says, as he orders everyone to say that Naruto had injured Sasuke too much that he killed him, to get Leaf to hate him and by extension Itachi. Suddenly, Jonin rushing through the door, not noticing the dead bodies of Uchiha and Horano. Lord Hokage, everything has gone bad. The Land of Fire was attacked by the demon and his army, and he has destroyed our food storages, our farms, our weapon factories, and poisoned our waters, and he's also killed the nobles and our Fire Lord. How are we going to live on limited resources? They surrounded our country as well to make sure that no other nations can help us by getting us supplies, Jonin says. Lord Hokage, he's also annihilated 23 of our forces that were out on missions, says another. He's already attacked. This isn't like the Naruto from Tsunade and Kakashi's report. He should have charged at us head on, like a stupid, dumb kid, not try to weaken us before the war, Minato thought. Well then, Leaf, it's time for us to prepare for the last stand against the demon, Minato says, as the Leaf Council and the Leaf Shinobi start to roar and cheer. With Naruto, Arturia-chan, our army's ready for the attack, Naruto says. Yes, Naruto-kun, they are, Arturia says. But guys, that's all. PP